What's up, fellas? So this video has been in the works for a while now, but it's finally come to fruition. Last year, I went to my first ever cup stacking tournament, and while I was initially planning on making a video about that, I just never really got around to it. So, in honor of the 1 year anniversary, I decided to make this. I don't know whether to call this a documentary or not. It's mostly just me talking about my cup stacking experience, as well as an interview with two stackers I'm friends with, but I'm probably going to call it something like Official Cup Stacking Documentary, simply because Jacob, aka Chet Lewis, one of my friends who I interviewed, is also going to make a cup stacking documentary, so I want everyone to know I made mine first. Now, if you're watching this, I'm going to assume you already know what cup stacking is, or at least have an idea of what it is, whether you're a stacker yourself or not. But the very basic explanation is, it's stacking plastic Dixie cups on top of each other in various patterns as fast as you can. That is the most simple explanation I can give. There's many other factors to it, but this video isn't about that. I've made other stacking videos before, such as when I easily broke the 333 and 363 world records, but this is the first, I guess, serious video about stacking I'm making, and I use the word serious loosely. So, first of all, how did I get into stacking? Well, it all started 9 years ago in 2017, and yes, I can't believe 2017 was 9 years ago, by the way, when Jacob first told me about stacking in a Skype call. Yes, we were using Skype at that point. He had been stacking for a few years and had even been to Juniors, which is the biggest stacking tournament every year in America. He first told me about it, and I must have thought it was interesting because when he visited me later that year, he lives in Alabama and I live in Maryland, he brought his cups and started stacking them on my dining room table. I was intrigued, although I thought it was stupid. Nevertheless, I jokingly told him he should get me some cups so I could start stacking, and after trying and failing miserably to stack with him, he said he would. I didn't actually think he would, but a few weeks later, a brand new set of cups along with a mat and a timer arrived at my door. They're actually a pretty rare set. They're the William Morrell cups, and so is the mat. Anyway, I was excited to start stacking just like Jacob had taught me, so I set them up and stacked with them for 2 whole days before I said this sucks and I quit. I packed them up and I put them in a drawer where they remained for the most part until last year. Now, over the years when Jacob visited me and vice versa, he would bring his cups and I'd bring mine and we'd stack pretty much as a joke. Although in 2023, I actually got a 4.7 second time for a 333, and I was just messing around, but that was a record for me at the time. But last year, Jacob suggested that for our annual meetup, which was going to be in Atlanta this time, I participate in a regional tournament there called Peach Basket. He goes to it every year, and he figured he'd invite me. I was really hesitant at first, as I basically had zero experience, and I didn't realize that just anyone could enter tournaments regardless of experience, but I reluctantly said yes. The next couple months were spent on Discord calls with Jacob teaching me techniques on how to stack, and I actually improved over time. Then we arrived in Atlanta for a few days before the tournament, mostly just to hang out, but also to practice doubles. I'd never even heard of doubles before, so he had to show me how to do them. But you know what? Over what was probably a total of 3 hours of practice spread across 3 days, we got our doubles time from 40 seconds the first time we practiced down to just 16 seconds on tournament day. That's got to be some kind of record. Speaking of which, the tournament was great. It was in a school gym on a sweltering 98-degree Georgia day, so the gym was basically like an oven. And on top of that, they were doing construction on the school, so if you had to use the restroom, you had to walk outside halfway around the building and go in through the front. Couple that with stacking most of the time, and yeah, I was delirious for part of it and almost got heat stroke, but you know what? The tournament was fun. It was easily the highlight of 2025 for me. I got to meet a few friends of Jacob, a couple of whom I befriended myself, and got to see people of all ages stacking. There were little kids there and fully grown middle-aged adults. As for how I did, well, our relay team won first place, so that was something, and Jacob and I did pretty well for doubles. As for individuals, yeah, I bombed, but I expected as much. I got third to last, and the only reason I didn't get dead last is because second to last was a toddler who was literally being taught how to stack at the judges' table, and the last guy just never showed up, so his times didn't count. But easily the best thing to happen from that tournament was the people I got to meet. I got invited to a stacking Discord and ended up meeting some pretty cool people there, some of whom I've formed legitimate friendships with. I'd have never thought that there would be such a big and diverse community around this very niche activity, especially here in America. Stacking is way more popular in Asian countries like South Korea and Malaysia, and some European countries too, but not so much here. So it was quite the surprise to experience such an active community. After Peach Basket, I did a few online tournaments, and while those are very low tier, they certainly help build up your skills, and it's neat to see how other stackers do. Plus, you can mess with people in the Zoom call. I've only ever done one in-person tournament, mostly because the number of tournaments in the Mid-Atlantic is 0, but there was one in Quakertown, Pennsylvania that I went to in December of last year. I drove 3 hours and stayed overnight at a hotel just for a small tournament. I did better there than I did at Atlanta, but this one was a much smaller, more local event, so I ended up placing dead last. Still, it was a fun time to be had, and I got to do doubles with Jacob Choi, one of the fastest stackers in the country right now. That was crazy, honestly. And that brings me to today. I continue to do online tournaments, but also next month I'll be going to juniors. Yep, I somehow got invited to juniors. I would say I have no idea how that happened, but if you participate in any in-person tournament the year prior, you automatically get invited. So I'll be heading to Des Moines, Iowa for several days to hang out with some of the people I've gotten to know this past year, and to compete in what's essentially the Cup Stacking Championships. Do I think I'll win or even place top 10? Absolutely not. But it's really the experience that counts. I'd have never thought that a year after my first tournament I'd be going to juniors, but here we are. So that brings me to what I wanted to do for this video, which is to interview two of my friends about stacking. The first person is Chloe, who, despite barely standing at 4'11", is a very talented stacker from California. In fact, she's been to 3 in-person tournaments and placed first for females in all 3. She's someone I met on the Stacking Discord shortly after the tournament last summer. We started talking more and more and became genuine close friends ever since. The other person is, of course, Jacob. He's been my best friend for over 10 years, and he's the one who peer pressured me into stacking in the first place. Both of them had some pretty unique insights about stacking, so here is that interview now. Alright, so Chloe, how did you first get into stacking? And tell me the story of how you started and how you got to where you are today.
So I saw Cenk and Ian in Worlds on YouTube when I was 7 years old. And then I bought a set in 2023. I quit and I tried again in late 2024. I quit again. And then I officially tried it again in February 2025. And I just do it every day now, and it's pretty fun.
Started when I was in the first grade in 2011. It was like just a PE thing. We walked in one day and my teacher was like, we have some cups and we're going to teach you how to stack them. And she was also like the computer lab teacher, so she brings us into her computer lab and shows us on her projector a video of Stephen Peruganon at the 2008 World Championships stacking a 621 cycle. And at the time I said, that's sped up, there's no way that's real. And she was like, I assure you the video is not sped up. And I was like, that's not true. And so she shows us how to stack, and she actually wasn't that bad. I don't remember what her record was, but she wasn't that bad. And so it was like this whole unit, and I think like, I don't remember how long after it was, but there was a point in time where we had like some time trial runs, and she would like see how fast we were and would write the time down, and then it'd be it, and then we'd do it again the next year and the year after that. I remember the time like I thought, me and my friends all thought like a 16-second cycle was ridiculous, and now I can do it in like 10 seconds less than that. But that's really how I got into it was PE, and I just like every year we would keep coming back and keep doing it, and I eventually really fell in love with it. I think it was when I got my own set of cups a few years later from a freaking Cracker Barrel. That's really when I like was addicted to it. And then I moved here to Alabama, and
Horrible downgrade, by the way.
we had really nothing to do here, and so or we didn't really know what to do here because we had just moved here, and so I think my mom had brought up the idea of going to a cup stacking tournament, and we kind of got lucky that Georgia, being our next door neighbor, had a bunch of tournaments, and so we went to one in Marietta, and I ended up winning for cycle. And then we were told by someone at the tournament, like, hey, we're hosting this tournament in Peachtree the next weekend, you guys should come out. And so we did, and then we went to juniors in Houston, and that was 10 years ago, and I'm still here now to tell the tale. Yeah, I mean, that was really kind of that's really what kicked it off, was moving here and going to tournaments. That's really what kept me kind of into stacking and just loving it, because I started to meet more people and also get more people into it during the process too. And I just think that there was something really special about that. But tournaments really, like, just going back and meeting more people and getting more experiences, like, that was a really like beneficial thing for me, and I loved it. So that was just a huge motivator for me. But yeah.
And how old were you when this happened? Like that PE class?
I was like 7.
Yeah,
I was 7.
So yeah, you were like really young.
Yeah, I was in 1st grade.
So what's kept you motivated to keep doing this all these years?
Just meeting people. Like, it's like the longer that I do this, it's less about like I need to practice and more about like I need to go to this tournament and this tournament because such and such people are going to be there, and I can just hang out with them and stuff like that. Like, it's for me at this point, because I'm so old now, like it's more of it's more of like I will go to tournaments if I know people are going to be there, and less about like I want to go to this tournament because I want to get like a 5 at the competition table, which I would like to happen. But when I was younger, it was like I want to keep going back because I like stacking, and I still like stacking now, but it's just like seeing the people and just getting to interact with all these great people at every tournament. Like, that's what keeps me going back, and I think that's a lot of people would say the same thing. Like, that's just the best part about going to tournaments, for sure.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Also, bro says he's old, yet he's 2 years younger than me. So something that's pretty neat is you've been in 2 in-person tournaments, one last year and one earlier this year, and you placed first in the only 2 in-person tournaments you've ever been in. How did you manage to do that?
Honestly, I try to like not really like rely on other people's times, even though like I know it's a competition and we really have to like look at whose time is better and all. But I usually tend to just try to beat my own times, because I rather focus on my own times than like everyone else's time, because when you're doing a sport, like at the end of the day you're really just going for your own like progress. And the reason why I think I was able to get podium for both the tournaments was because like in general there's not actually like not a lot of California female stackers, so that's like one of the reasons why.
So you also do dice stacking, or I don't know if you still do it, you used to. What is that, and how does that experience help you out with cup stacking?
So I did cup stacking. I started, no, not cup stacking, dice stacking. I did it when I was 10 years old because I saw a video from That's Amazing, and it looked interesting. So I bought like set of dice and cups.
Well,
And
first
it's
of all,
pretty
like,
fun.
what is dice stacking? Because even I don't really know what that is too much. So, like, what is
So
it,
dice
first of all?
so dice stacking is basically like stacking dice with a cup, and with the cup you're using like, I think the word is called like typical force or something. I don't know the word, but a lot of professionals say like that. You have to use like a force, and like how you stack like the dice. You basically place them down in a straight line, and you're basically scooping the dice up and to make it into a tower. And also like, and like it's kind of like also about balance, especially when you're going to like an advanced level like point stacking. Point stacking is basically stacking like more dice on top of on the other dice. So it's really, and comparing that with cup stacking, it's the same thing. Like, it's really just about focus and strategies and also balance, because a strategy that you have for like cup stacking, like you just have to like make sure like the cups are balanced, because if you like stack a cup but then like the cup is like side like really close to like the end, like it could easily just fall like that.
Yeah.
You have to try your best to like stack it more straight together. And then with like dice stacking, like if you have to do like a point stack, you need to make sure like the you have to use like the cup to like make sure like the the second stack to like not fall, especially because the dice is like so like small and stuff. But yeah, it's really mainly just about like balance. Yeah.
So another thing is, you are a huge, drooling, guzzling K-pop fan. In fact, you're the treasurer of a K-pop dance club at college. So is there literally any correlation between dancing and stacking?
Honestly, like just focus on muscle memory. Like when you when you dance,
I
you
was
have to remember
expecting
the
a no.
dance.
I was expecting you to say no, but go on.
No, like when you dance, like you practice it every day. You get used to it because it's like muscle memory because you get used to it. Like especially when you hear the song play, you immediately get informations, and especially because everyone has to like move into different like formations. It gets pretty hard, but then as you like keep practicing, you get better and better at it. And with cup stacking, it's the same thing, muscle memory. As you do more and more of it, and it's really repetitive, but when you do more of like stacking, like for example like the cycle like many times, you get used to it. Like you don't have to like keep messing up and stuff. So I think mainly muscle memory.
Okay, sure, I'll take it. What do you like best about the stacking community?
Oh, they're so nice and supportive. Like I remember one of my friends, he messaged me, and he was like, "Do you want to join like the?" Actually, I don't think I can say that. But
Oh, the
I
Discord.
basically, yeah, the Discord. I don't know if I'm allowed to like say that,
You
but
can say
I
it. It's not public, so no one. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, but he invited me to the stacking Discord. I didn't even know there was a stacking Discord. Like I did not know. Because I was literally just spam following like everyone that if I see like a sports stacker or sports stacking or cup stacker, I will literally follow them, like because I was like so ready to meet like the community when I joined. And then I joined the Discord, and they're like pretty sweet and stuff. And even though like my times are like not as like best as theirs and not as fast as theirs, like they're really supportive, especially because now I'm going to try to get like a 6 and for cycle. And whenever like if I mess up or anything, they always like encourage me to keep going and never giving up. So I think that's really cool that the community is like really supportive, no matter like what times you have, or no matter like how less experiences that you or experiences and practice that you have compared to them.
Um, I just, I think I love just how inviting so many people are. I mean, there's a lot of people that'll just welcome you with open arms and just treat you like family, and I just really love that. I mean, I hung out with people this weekend who I probably have not really interacted with that much over the course of 8 or 9 years that I've like actually known them, but they still treat me like family and they treat me with a lot of respect. And I think that's really inviting too. Like that's just, I don't know, like the community is just it's so special. And like, yeah, there's a lot of drama that happens here and there, but like at its core, like you can go to tournaments and you can see how the community interacts with one another, and just know that you're a part of something special, because there's just so many nice and welcoming people, and I think that's just really special. And I'm glad that like this kind of a hobby has that. Like that's really awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Follow up to that, what do you not like about the community?
I mean, I kind of said it, like the drama, and also just like there's like, I remember this when Gen 5 was introduced or announced 5 years ago, people were mad. Like, I don't think I had ever seen the community divided that far before. I mean, and at the time, most people were on this fence of like, oh my gosh, like I'm never gonna stack again. I'm never competing again. Like I can't do this. And of course, 5 years later, people are still a part of the community. Like there are very few people that actually stopped competing once Gen 5 went into full effect. And the people
Just for reference, for anyone who doesn't know, what's Gen 5?
Gen 5 is like, instead of you stacking or starting the timer with traditionally like just both of your hands, there are these extra thumb pads on the bottom of the timer that you also have to press now if you want to start and stop the timer, which in theory slows you down. And the only reason that they did it was because stops were getting harder to judge, which I don't think is a valid argument. I think they did it to make more money, but that's just me. I also think they did it because they probably just didn't want to view as many times as they were doing. I don't know, but it wasn't really my place to say, but people were definitely wrought up about it. Like that definitely split the community for a while. And as time has gone on, people don't really care anymore. And the people that do, I think, are just coping with the fact that they don't want to accept change. Yeah, so I think just there's a lot of unnecessary drama that'll happen, and like it's pretty obvious to tell that it's unnecessary because it just happens for really stupid reasons. But yeah, that's definitely my least favorite part of that community, and it really sucks that it happens as often as it does, because it definitely shouldn't. I'll tell you that much. But yeah.
Yeah. And for the Gen 5 timer, for me, it's a bit of an adjustment for in-person tournaments because I don't have a Gen 5 timer at home. I have a classic timer.
Yeah.
But I honestly, the few in-person tournaments I've been to, it has not been that hard to adjust.
It's not. No, it's really not. Like the people that make a big fuss about it, like I don't understand, because like it's really not that bad. And we've gotten to the point now where people are getting like really good with it, and they're getting times that they would normally be getting on the regular timer anyway. So it's like it doesn't really, like, over time it's just not really affected people that much. Like people are still just as good with it as they are normally. So it's just not really worth arguing about anymore.
Honestly, I just don't like when people like, fake their times. I know there's people like that.
Yeah.
I know who you are. It's not okay to fake your times.
Sorry, I just thought of one thing. Yeah.
I don't know, it just makes me really annoying that people are like, oh my gosh, like, this is my time, like, but literally it's fake.
There was
Like,
one
if you-
time a guy tried to cheat in an online tournament by pre-recording his video
Yeah.
and just played that in the Zoom meeting. So, do you have anyone in particular you look up to in regards to stacking?
I look up to Seung Kim. She's the fastest female stacker. She's from South Korea. I look up to her like a lot because like I just really like her stacking style, and I just like how Uh, I just like how she can like represent how like you know there's also like there's also women that are also really fast because people only see like the males as fast because I remember I was like going through like YouTube videos and stuff, and then someone was like, "Oh my gosh, like the women, the stackers that are women, like are like so behind with the male stackers or something like that," and saying like bad stuff about them. But then it just, I don't know, it just threw me kind of off because like there are in fact some fast, women, the female stackers. They're just like not as like active and stuff, but there's definitely potential for like a lot of female stackers right now.
Yeah. So, Seun Kim, if you're watching this, you got a fan here. I hope that would be crazy if she sees this.
She's my favorite stacker.
Yeah. Well,
I love you.
so, somehow I think that's not even platonic.
I mean, there's a lot of people that I still definitely. I mean, I would say, like we were talking, like I was having this conversation the other day about like who your favorite stacker is, and I think I said Laura Beacon, and I think the reason I said that was because she was one of the first people I met in the community, but also because she's done a lot for where she lives in Northern Ireland, where she's basically grown like an entire community over there. She's having tournaments all the time. She basically runs UK stacking at this point, but most notably where she lives in the area, like she's really grown that region, and that's really exciting. And so I think I look up to her a lot because she's doing a lot for where she lives. She's also really good at stacking, like undeniably good at that shit. I think she's won Euros every single year for last 4 years, I think. So like, I mean, there's a lot that can be said about that. I also would say, I'm trying to think who else. Obviously, people like Arel, like probably still the GOAT of stacking, I think, or at least one of the GOATs, because he has been stacking for so long at this point. I think he's been stacking for literally 20 years, and he can still perform at a pretty high level all these years later, even though he's graduated from grad school. He has like a full-time job, like, and he's still good at this shit. Like that's really, it's impressive. It's also very inspiring because it kind of shows that like there's no slowing down with how old you get, you know. And then also people like Jacob Choi, because I mean he's doing monumental things for US stacking. Like it's impressive how good he is at such a young age. There's other people too that are about as young as him that are also doing really well. So
yeah,
there's a lot of good people out there for sure.
So how do you grapple with the fact that stacking is pretty much dying here in America?
Well, I think that it's really sad, and I do think that it could be saved. I just don't think that there's a lot of people that are really pushing for anything to happen. I will say that, I mean, there are some states that have really strong communities. Texas has a pretty good one. Georgia has a really solid one. And there's other areas too. But, you know, I think I kind of just look at it as we definitely could be doing better, but it takes a lot of effort to run tournaments. Like, I think people also don't realize how expensive a tournament can be to run, which I wonder if that's why a lot of people don't do it. But also, I just think that we're not doing that great with promotion either, and I think that that could be more beneficial. So, I don't know. I also think that if SpeedStacks and the WSSA separate and we start to get actual sponsors, that could really help to grow the sport, not just, you know, in the US, but also globally. I just think that there's a lot of factors that play into, especially American stacking dying out, and I don't think it should be. Like, I think it could very well be thriving. I just think that there's not enough people anymore that are willing to put in that effort.
Yeah, I also think this one might be a long shot, but I think it would help if like it became like an official like state sponsored sport.
I also think so too. Yeah, I think that could really help. It's just that's more of a question of what states are willing to sponsor it. And I would hope that there would be some, but you obviously would have to first prove that you have enough people doing this to where they should actually want to sponsor it. But I think that would be a really good idea, because we've seen that happen with other countries. Malaysia, their country's government sponsors it. For cubing, China's government sponsors it, and they sanction it as an actual sport. So it's proven that this can be done. It's just that it should happen. I think it needs to happen.
Basically, I wish that like the community of stacking is just like how like it's treated especially in Asia, because Asia treats it like
it's a state sponsored sport there.
Yeah, and then they they create a lot of communities, and a lot of schools do it too. But for America, like I think apparently they don't really do it in schools anymore, which is another reason why it's also kind of dying.
Oh, they used to, big time. They used to.
Yeah, they used to do it all the time, but I think some schools still do it, but they don't do it like as often as they used to, which sucks because like it's kind of unfortunate, because I know a lot of people. I know that the stacking community. I think even the community, the U.S. community, talked about it, and they're just trying to find ways to like bring stacking back, especially for California, because California stackers were dying. But thankfully, they're adding more tournaments and try to like increase like the amount of stackers there. So yeah.
Hey, speaking of stacking, are you stacking right now in the background?
Yes, I am. I'm stacking red solo cups right now.
Okay. If you could change one thing about the tournaments, what would it be? Just anything.
Anything?
Any one thing about the tournaments.
Let me tell you, please remove finals. I hate finals so fucking much. Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah.
I hate finals.
Isn't that the most important part though?
Yeah, but like honestly, I kind of wish that like there was just like one round, basically like just either prelims or finals. I don't like having prelims and finals because.
Oh yeah, I agree. I'd say remove prelims though.
Yeah, I'll say remove prelims. I just say finals because I'm personally bad at finals because I'm a type to have like all the events done at once. Like for example, for prelims, I'm doing my 3-3, 3-6-3 and cycle all at once, which is why like I tend to get really good times. But with finals, because I have to wait for my turn and then do one event and have to wait again, do my other event, and wait again and do my other event. Like it makes me like not be able to be in the zone. Like I have to keep pausing my focus, which makes it very hard for me to get good times, especially because prelim times don't count towards your your profile, but with finals it does. So yeah, I'll say one thing change, just remove one of them, please. Thank you.
Honestly, there's a lot of good answers to this question. Like, I think the big thing that I would change, some people would probably say to add more events, which I think that'd be fun. But I really think that we need to think about the removal of prelims, because
let me stop you right there. I asked Chloe the same question. She said remove finals.
That's crazy. No,
total opposite of yours.
I think that especially in a marquee event, I don't think that finals should exist, or not finals, sorry, prelims. I don't think prelims need to exist in a marquee event. And they have done this before. They did this with the last Nationals 10 years ago, where they had 2 rounds of finals instead of prelims and finals. And I think that should be the standard for at least marquees. I think that for a normal like tournament, I think that prelims should just count as they shouldn't count as like your finals time, but they should at least go to your leaderboard if you get like a new best in tournament, because I don't think that we should be, I don't know, like I think that prelims should count for finals times. So like even at juniors, if you want to have like maybe not 2 rounds of finals, but if you want to have like you know prelims, you still have to qualify for finals. I still think that your prelims times should count for finals. I think if we're talking about one change, that's what we should consider, because I think it's a bit stupid that there are so many people that travel to these tournaments and they could do really well in prelims and then not make finals, and maybe they want their prelims times to count for finals so that it shows up on their profile as they went to the tournament for something. So I think that should definitely be considered, though, because prelims not counting is just a stupid thing. Like, that should never have existed in the first place. It doesn't exist in something like cubing. It shouldn't exist here. Like, the fact that it hasn't been considered at a higher level is a bit ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
But that'd be my answer to that question.
I'm actually with you on that. If I would say remove prelims as well. Like, honestly. Yeah. Did you ever think that I would ever be stacking alongside you in a tournament, much less juniors?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Neither did I.
Simple, no, because for years the way that it's funny because I bought you cups like weeks after I first met you, and I mean people like this exist where they get into it for a little bit, they think that they're really gonna like it, and then maybe they fade out of it. This happens all the time, and like but it especially happens with people that don't find it on their own.
That's what happened with me. So
yeah, like, and it'd be a bit different if like you had like a neighbor or something that got into it, and then you live next to them and you got into it and you guys were practicing all the time. Like, I could see how that would be like a way that you would get really into it. But if you don't have that kind of like environment and you're just there by yourself doing it because your friend from halfway across the country got you into it, like, yeah, like it's really easy to fall out of it at that point. But I never thought that you would get into it much in the way that you have, because I mean, it just kind of seemed like a thing of like, you have the cups but you don't really use them, you don't really want to compete, and I really didn't like think anything of it. I was kind of just like, okay, that's fine, people can be who they want to be. I don't, it's fine. I do think it's cool that you are a part of it now. But, I mean, if you had asked me that question 5 years ago, I would have said no.
Oh, I would have said no, too. I would have probably laughed at you if you had asked me that.
Yeah, exactly.
Follow up to that, be brutally honest. How good am I at stacking?
I mean...
yeah, let's hear this one.
If we're talking, like, within the last year, I would definitely say... because the reality is, if you look at somebody who's been stacking for a year, they should be a lot better than like where you're at. Maybe not the close level because she stacks every single freaking day. But
yeah, but the other thing is I barely do it though. That's the thing.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I do think that even for how much you have been stacking for, you probably should be a little bit better. Like your skill level should be a little bit better than where it is. But I don't necessarily think it's like horrible, But I do think that it could be better. I still think that it could be better, given what I've seen from other people too. Like, I think that where you're at should be a little bit more advanced, but it's fine. Like, it's not.
Well, at least for juniors, I'm actually practicing and I'm actually trying to be better for it, so I don't get clowned on by everyone else. Right. Despite being the best in your state, you never seem to be super competitive about stacking. You've always been pretty casual. Why is that?
I mean, quite honestly, maybe it's just because I'm a lot older now about it. I don't really care anymore how I do. I did pretty shit this last weekend, and I don't really care, to be honest. Like, it's just kind of whatever. Like, I look at tournaments more or less on just how they went socially, and if I like really felt like I was in my element that weekend, because sometimes I don't feel that way. So it's just I don't really care. Like, I might tell people like, yeah, I'm the best in the state or this or that, and like I don't really care because, I mean, my competition is someone that also barely stacks. So,
Plus, Alabama doesn't even have a
and
lot of stackers
yeah, I
anyway.
was gonna say Alabama doesn't have like any competition either, so I don't really give a shit. But yeah, it's just like I don't know. I just don't really care. Like, I mean, I'm like I'll admit that I'm pretty decent at it, but like I just don't. I mean, it's just. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just cup stacking, right? Like,
It's just cup stacking.
I was gonna say that at some point, but like, I just like don't really. I'm not gonna like brag to somebody and be like, "Hey, look at me, I'm good at cup stacking," and they're gonna be like, "Hey, look at you, you're autistic, you wasted your life on this," and I'll be like, "Yeah, you're probably right," but I just like, it's just not really that big of a deal to me, like. Maybe if my state was a bit more competitive, I might like be a little bit more enthusiastic about it. But I think even then, I mean, I don't really care. I wasn't the fastest when I moved here. I had to actually like work for state records. Obviously now I don't, unless it's 333. But but yeah, I mean, it's whatever. I go to tournaments for the social aspect at this point, and that's kind of about it. The times are honestly secondary to me.
So, follow up. Well, you kind of already answered it, but what's it like being the stacking champion of Alabama?
I mean, Alabama.
Yeah.
Fuck else are you gonna do? Fuck your cousin? I mean, you could. It's probably not like that anymore. But
Okay,
but,
bro.
I mean, I don't know, bro. It's just like I don't have competition, and Daniel's kind of my competition, but like
Damn, name dropping him.
He will say to me that there's no way he's beating my cycle in tournament because like his nerves just don't allow for that, and it's pretty obvious when you watch him that like yeah, there's no way that's happening. But I don't know. I mean, I'm probably not gonna live here for much longer, hopefully, and I think wherever I move to, I probably won't be the fastest of that state anymore, but I don't really care. Like, I'm not gonna move to like Indiana and then be like, oh shit, I have to beat a 501 cycle. I don't care. I'm not working for that. Like, I'm fine with where I'm at, and you know, I'm the fastest here for now, and that's kind of it.
Okay, so you've made a few friends from stacking. So out of all the friends you've made, who's your favorite?
Oh, let me tell you, my boy Nate. He's my best friend. I'm fine. He's interviewing me right now. Like he's cool. You know, yeah.
I did not tell her to say this, guys.
Yeah.
She just said that on her own.
Yeah, he should also stack too.
I literally do, but okay. So I want you to think about this one before you answer it, because this is a big one. Maybe the biggest one, the whole thing. Do you consider stacking a legit sport?
You know, some people would tell you no. But
Yeah,
I
like
actually
me.
do think that you could make the argument that it is, and the reason that
No,
I say
it's
this
not,
is because
but I'll hear you out.
it's okay, but because when I look at a lot of the things that I participate in, people consider cubing to be a sport. And
Oh,
if
that's
you consider-
definitely not a sport.
If you consider cubing to be a sport, you're already losing. And so I think that in that kind of an argument, I think stacking is more of a sport, but I do think that, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's been like legit, like in the documentary that the one documentary that they have made about stacking, I'm pretty sure there's some kind of a research study done that proves that it's a sport. I don't remember exactly, but I do think that you can make the argument that it's a sport. I mean, if it ever gets added to the Olympics, then I think you have your answer. That would take a while because you need 70 countries to be active in it. But I do think
Well, it's
that
in the
you could
Junior Olympics, but I don't really think that counts. So.
Yeah, I mean, you could make the argument though that it is. I mean, when you look at the fact that like You've got things like relay. You've got things like you walk into a venue and you're probably gonna sweat your ass off if like
Well, yeah.
just by being in there. Like it's
And
just a venue of sweats.
and
So
that's not even that doesn't even matter if the heat's up super high or not, or if it's like 100 degrees out. Because I was
that is
sweating
true.
in the middle of December when I was at a tournament.
Yeah. I mean it, and I don't know, like I think if you also look at what else is classified as a sport and then you look at stacking, sometimes it'll make that look more of a sport too. Like I don't really have any like examples off the top of my head, but I think that stacking is more of a sport than some other things that are considered sports.
Well,
Um,
also some of those other things that are considered sports, I do not agree that they should be considered sports.
like for example, there's a such thing
Ch-
as esports,
yeah,
but are
chess
you
is chess
really?
is my example. Chess is considered a sport.
Yeah, I was gonna say chess is considered a sport, but like I mean, in its simplest term, it's not. And that's an example that makes stacking look more of a sport than chess because I mean, you're
Yeah.
actually the thing with stacking is you're exerting hand-eye coordination. You know, like you're exerting I don't know, like body movements to be able to stack and unstack cups. And when you think about it, it sounds really stupid, but I don't know. It's definitely more of a sport than other sports that exist. So I
I
do think that yeah, it could be classified as one if you
I
really
think it's
think
kind
about
of
it.
split on like because there are some stackers who don't consider it a sport like at
Right.
all.
This is very debatable. I actually had to.
It is very debatable. I have a definitive answer, but I want to hear yours.
I honestly, I the way it's been treated, it's treated like a sport, but people don't see it as a sport. But I personally think that
I might need a yes or no.
it is a sport. For me personally, because like
Wrong. No, it's not. I do not consider it a sport at all.
I feel
um,
like it's a bit considered as a sport, but it's also more considered as like a hobby.
yeah, it to me it's a hobby because it's like I don't know. It's to quote to quote myself from a year and a half ago. It's a sport the same way chess is a sport. It's not. Um,
Yeah,
and chess is legitimately considered a sport. That's the reason I said that. Which, considering chess is a sport, is crazy. Like there is no way that should be a sport. In the same way, there's no way stacking should be considered a sport. Yeah, it's tiring. You can get exhausted. It uses energy, but you're not moving. Like you're standing in one spot, moving your arms. That's it.
but you're sweating too.
Well, yeah, I said you're
But
using
like,
energy and stuff.
but like,
But
then
just because
but why is gaming considered a sport too? Then,
I don't consider gaming sport. It's its own thing.
but
It's an e-sport,
yeah,
but e-sport is not like athletic sport, and stacking's considered an athletic sport. I mean, the full name is sport stacking. I
yeah,
don't
that's why I said it's a sport
think
because it
it
literally
should.
says sports stacking.
No, I don't think it's a sport, and there are other stackers who do not consider it a sport at all. Well, that's my reasoning why it shouldn't be. It's a hobby, but like there are other hobbies that are sweating and time consuming, like working out at the gym, for instance. That's not a sport, but you sweat, you use energy, but it's not a sport. It's a hobby. Um, so same thing for stacking.
Yeah, I
But
see it a bit more as a hobby, but I do see it like at least like a potential sport. So yeah.
okay, well, one last thing. Do you have any advice to give to potential new stackers that are watching this or people who are just interested?
Um, do not fake your times. And when you get into stacking, you tend to want to keep practicing, and because I know like some stackers tend to compare themselves to other people, because I was like that. I was in that position too. So like just don't compare yourself to other people. Go at your own pace and don't over practice because you'll get burnt out. And being burnt out is not fun. It's not fun at all because you're gonna lose motivation to the sport. But then like when you come back, you're like, wow, I'm so slow again. Like, and you're just gonna quit and stuff. So like just practice for at least like, honestly, like 10 minutes is good, but like 10 minutes is like good, you know?
This is coming from someone who has practiced for 3 hours a day before.
Yeah, I used to practice for 3 hours a day. And for me, I don't really get tired because I'm on the spectrum, so like I really don't really care, and I don't really
Okay,
get like
bro.
and because I have a big focus on it, and it keeps me distracted. That's why I'm really like, I don't really care like how much I practice. But now I recently made it down to like at least maybe like 30 minutes to an hour, just so I don't get burnt out, because I don't want to lose my motivation in stacking, and you guys should not. So yeah, keep stacking and have fun.
Pretty good advice. But I mean, if you like stacking plastic Dixie cups on top of each other really fast, doesn't that just automatically mean you're on the spectrum?
I mean, yeah, the sky's blue.
I think what I would say is, well, first of all, keep practicing, try to motivate yourself to get better, but also, get out there, go to tournaments, and just, make friends, join Discord communities and whatever, like, just trying to make yourself known if you want to, get out there and meet people and stuff like that. Like, the community is a really welcoming place, and you're gonna be able to find your home even if it's scary. Like, you'll be able to find your people, and I think that's really I've seen that happen like this year, so with other people, so it's definitely doable. So yeah.
So now for some closing thoughts. If you know me at all, or if you've seen my other stacking videos, then you'd know I do not take stacking seriously at all. In fact, I consider it to be a joke. I've called it a dumb hobby and a terrible excuse for a sport. And honestly, my opinion has not changed. Yeah, it's stupid. It's literally stacking plastic cups on top of each other at rapid speeds. But you know what? It's fun. Whoever said you can't have stupid hobbies if you have fun doing them? And honestly, that's what's important. I do not consider myself a stacker. I never have, and I never will. I will probably never take this seriously enough to consider myself one, and the few times I've been called one, I cringed. I absolutely cringed. I used to make fun of people for being stackers, and the word still holds that status in my head. But I think as long as you don't take it too seriously, it can be a really fun hobby and can actually build skills. Hand-eye coordination, if nothing else. But if you ask anyone, myself included, I think they'll agree that the community is the best part. People have made lifelong friendships from cup stacking, and hopefully I can say the same. Taking Chloe, for instance, we actually have very little in common. Our personalities are total opposites, we grew up with vastly different cultural experiences, and we don't play much of the same games or watch the same stuff. Our friendship was basically built off stacking, and has since branched off to other things, such as Dead by Daylight, which has been the background footage this whole time, but it was primarily formed from stacking. I really do think that's something special. I guess my advice to anyone who's interested in getting involved would be to simply just give it a shot. You're probably going to suck at the start, but realistically, that's the case with anything. Yeah, some people just seem to be born with certain skill sets and start out literally at the top level, but you will absolutely improve if you keep at it. Stacking is something that anyone can be good at if you put your mind to it, and I'd encourage you to try to talk to other people in the community. It might seem a bit unnerving at first, and I can't say that it's a total judgment-free community. No, there is a bunch of people I encountered that will absolutely judge how good you are regardless of where you're at. But it usually isn't in genuine bad faith. It's in a tongue-in-cheek way. You'll get more support than anything else. As for me, I'm happy where I am right now in terms of stacking. I do want to get better, but it's not a pressing desire for me as it might be for others. Who knows if I'll even be doing this in a few years from now, although I certainly plan to, because really, at the end of the day, it's just cup stacking. Alright, that's going to be it for now. I put in a lot of effort to this, so I'd really appreciate it if you liked and shared this video. It's my hope that it makes its rounds throughout the community, so any help would be appreciated. Subscribe if you're interested in all the stuff I make, because it's not just cup stacking stuff. My socials are in the description if you want to follow me there, although don't follow me on Twitter right now because my account is currently hacked and I'm still trying to gain back access to it. So yeah, the next video will be my latest installment in the Cathedral ranking series I'm doing, so stay tuned for that. Alright, see you next time.